button. The assignment was just basically to change its appearance somehow, any way you choose. How do we want them to change? What if we say we could change the style directly in JavaScript, but it'd be easier if we just like added a fave class to them and had a rule for the fave class. So let's say, where do we style .flick? We don't really, except for these. So .flick.fave. So if it has both of those classes on there, let's make a nice golden background. And yeah, we could. What was my teal that I used? I don't know, the dark one's pretty classy. Michael Bay, what you would call classy. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to pop, baby. Let's edit one of these. Inspect. Here's my LI. Right click on that. Ooh. Edit as HTML. Cool. So let's add fave in here. Classy. Almost. Do we like this better? It's not that much better, is it? Yeah, teal on orange. Want to make it just a hair darker. We could change FF to EE or DD. Change E6 to D9. Now the black on that, it's not so dark that the black is unreadable. That's not so bad. Okay, so now the button needs to do that thing, right? If the class is there, we're going to give it a background color. Now we need to add the class if we click promote or fave, whatever that says. Easy. Render list item. Here we are making the remove button work. Let's do something very similar. Button.fave, right? When we click, we want to fave that flick. Do we need to bind it and pass in the flick? It's probably not a bad idea. I can anticipate using that. Let's write it. Let's make it work. So there's remove. Fave, flick. Remember, object property, add the comma. And we learned that when we say bind this flick, the first argument there binds this to whatever we pass in. Second argument gets passed in as an argument to my function. And since it's an event handler, we know that the event always gets passed in as the last argument, no matter what we do in bind. So it'll get flick and the event. And once again, we could use that event to grab the target, which will be the button, right? And then we will find the closest ancestor with a class of flick. So we'll do the same thing. And then this time, what are we going to do to that list item? We learned about class list. Makes it really easy to add or remove a class. So add the class fave. Oh yeah. Doesn't toggle yet, but it faves it. One thing at a time. So what should we do to the array? So here's our object right now, right? We just have an ID and name. We could have a property called fave that's either true or false. Everything starts out as not a fave. So then inside fave flick, well, heck, do we need to do anything to the array? We have the flick object, right? What if I just say flick.fave equals true? What do you think? Refresh. Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2, clearly the superior film. App.flicks. You know it should be the first one, right? What do you think? Haha, fave true. Why did that work? Without my messing with the array. Yes, Lynn?
Because we were just focusing on that individual items property that is using the item.
So flick here, yeah, we just changed the property within that object, but we didn't return the object, did we? How come it changed it in the array? Well, it's JavaScript. JavaScript doesn't always make a ton of sense. But actually, this particular quirk is really handy sometimes. Objects are always passed by reference in JavaScript. Always. That also means if I said, well, heck, let's do just a real quick experiment. Const meals equals, sure, this thing. Const food times equals meals. Food times dot breakfast equals French toast. Meals dot breakfast French toast. I changed the original. When you pass them as arguments, when you assign them to something else, you are not making a copy. You are changing the original every time with an object. In this case, that's super handy. So it worked. Allow users to mark their favorite flicks. We'll do that in a super user-centric form. If I wanted to toggle it, what would we change? Yeah, to see if it's already faved. Easy enough. If, well, first of all, we want to set fave to the opposite of what it is now, right? So we could say flick.fave equals not flick.fave. So the opposite of whatever it is now. Then if flick.fave add the class fave. Else, list item, class list, dot remove fave. I change it first because it's kind of weird to say, if it's not a favorite, add the class. So change the data first. If it is faved, do that. How's that? Bad boy 1, bad boy 2. Fave it, unfave it, fave it, unfave it. Yay. Allow users to unfave or toggle favorite status.